I guess we should be saying Happy New Year's to all. Is it Happy New Year's or Happy New Year?
I think it's Happy New Year.
So how come people throw in the S?
That's a really good question.
Okay, maybe it's just me.
But no, it's definitely not just you.
Because it kind of looks funny when someone says
Happy New Year's.
Years, plural, not singular.
It's the New Year's year.
It's the new year, 2019. This is Late Night Parents. This is Ted Hicks. Across from me is Rich Valdez.
Ted, what is happening? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my friend.
Our first in-person broadcast of the new year.
Yes, sir. Behind the glass, engineer, Mr. Brian Graves, is in the building, even though I thought he was going to be affected by the government shutdown, because usually we start on time, but unlike some national parks and, well, I was going to say Brian was pulling a TSA and calling out sick or something like that.
Yeah, it's a TSA walkout.
Walkout, sick out, all the above, but no, in seriousness, happy to be here. It's a new year. Serious topic, the government shutdown.
Dude.
It's bad.
All I say is, if they're going to shut down the government, they should also stop collecting paychecks.
Congress.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't see how that just doesn't happen in the first place. I mean, all right, you want to shut down, y'all want to argue, and it's a worthy topic, especially that we all know the primary reason for this shutdown is the wall. And
we're going to build a wall.
But Mexico's going to pay for it.
And someone else is going to pay for it.
Oh, wait. Mexico's not going to pay for it, but we're going to pay for it and then give them a bill. No, wait. We're not going to pay for it or give them a bill.
Okay.
We're going to make the taxpayers pay for it.
Okay. I guess.
That's where we are now, right? That's what it's come to in 2 years or 2.5 years.
Whatever is replacing NAFTA,
North American Free Trade Act.
Right. Whatever is replacing that's how Mexico is paying for the wall. I mean, how many different ways can you spend this?
Not many, which is why we're at the point we're at now.
We got people. I don't know about you. We got tons and tons of people who are living paycheck to paycheck.
A lot of people live
more
paycheck.
People than what we even expect.
You're probably right. Yes, I mean, and the poor government workers who are affected by this, who are living paycheck to paycheck.
They're caught in a quagmire.
Bills aren't getting paid. Mortgages aren't getting paid.
So what do you do?
I wonder if there are some accommodations being made out there by all the creditors, knowing that their creditor, their person is a government employee. If they're at least cut them some kind of slack. Sure, you got to charge them interest and you got to make them pay for it when the time comes, but they have no control over this situation. This isn't a layoff. This isn't where they've done anything at all. This is the government that says, "Oh, we're going to stop paying for a while.
We're going to stop paying because we failed to agree on a few items. So we're going to shut down, and we're going to affect the everyday worker."
Right. That's what's happening here.
The voter.
But we're not affecting ourselves.
The voter.
Wait till it comes time to vote again. And, I was reading something today, this is far, far reaching. They're saying that the effect that this can have on like the national parks.
Yes.
Because, people are still going to the ones that are available and open.
Right.
Trash is piling up.
Feces
is piling up in locations. There's no one there to monitor.
No.
This will have years long effects in some cases, they say.
Oh my goodness. Like I said, I think I did a podcast a few weeks ago with my buddy Sean Armour, and we talked about the divorced mom who is depending on the child support from her ex-husband or partner
who's a government employee. What happens to, like you said, the ripple effect behind it, it's really, 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 really intricate. Yep.
And there's no one that's not affected by this.
No. And I wonder, when this is resolved,
Mm-hmm.
are they paying these people back retroactively?
I would hope. I mean,
they're
not contractors.
working.
Not
contractors. No, contractors are really SOL.
Well, I think it's a couple of different things.
But who knows? Contractors might get paid.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you're being furloughed, you're being told to go home.
Right.
So
right.
I'm guessing there's no pay. Versus
right.
the people that are going to work and not getting paid.
And not getting paid, yeah.
Two different instances here. Really, really scary. We're not sure how this is going to twist and turn because as of last week, our commander-in-chief said this can go on for months.
Yes.
Or even years.
It wouldn't go on for years.
It wouldn't go on for years.
See, I mean, let's put the worst case scenario out there that it goes on for another year and 9 months.
Then he's out of office.
They're all out of the office.
They're all out of office.
Everyone will be
for 2020.
Exactly.
And you got then people like, I mean, she's the hotness.
Ocasio.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes.
You know, and her crew that are ready, they're like encroaching.
They can't wait. And who knows how this goes, though? I mean,
it's really scary.
Either way, in 2020, there will be revenge votes.
Oh, yeah. And which it should be.
As it should be.
And we've been saying for years, upon years, upon years, if that politician doesn't align with your values and what you want, and I'm sure this is not part of your value.
Right. Don't vote him in.
Don't vote him in. And when the jokesters come to your, I don't know, your YMCA, your church group, your public library, and they turn around and tell you, vote Democratic down the line. You tell them to go to hell.
But what about same thing on the Republican side?
Right.
And now here's where you get the quandary. So let's just say you are that middle American Republican who voted for Trump.
Okay.
Who wanted a wall. And now you're not getting the wall, and you're also not getting paid.
I think when something tends to affect you personally, things start to change.
You get a different shade on your glasses. Maybe not a rose-colored lens anymore.
No.
But this is what you wanted.
This is what you wanted.
I mean, he said that Mexico was going to pay for it, though.
Right.
And now that's not happening either.
But the best part is he said he understands. What he can relate.
He can relate. Right.
And everyone who is upset, who's not getting paid, they're Democrats.
Let's do a survey. Okay. Let's just do a survey.
Oh, this is crazy, man.
For any of you who may be listening and are being directly affected by this, we wish you the best and hope that this is over as soon as possible so you can get your life back together.
Of course. There's no making light of this situation. It's just making light of these characters that have caused this chaos.
Maybe this is all impetus for a major change come 2020 and 22 and 24.
Right.
You know, people will not forget all the craziness and shenanigans that this has caused. It'll be a chapter in history which you and I will be able to say, I lived through that.
Yes, and we can talk about it on future shows. Like, remember, we were railing about XYZ topic, but this is Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. Rich, I'm going to say it's not 3 words.
Okay.
It's almost 3 words. Surviving R. Kelly. Have you watched any of that madness?
No, I haven't. Now, of course, I remember hearing all the alleged comments and alleged...
Oh, my goodness.
Varieties of assault, if you will, that were piled upon him in the 80s against young girls.
Right.
Deviant acts, we'll call them. I haven't watched any of this. Tell me, is it even worse than what I remember?
I refuse to watch this.
I'm kind of the same way.
But it's trending everywhere.
Yes.
And guess what my wife said to me today? Could you do me a favor? I was like,
can you set the DVR so we can see this?
Could you set the DVR so we can watch Surviving R. Kelly? I said, well, I'm not watching it.
Oh.
I said, I'm watching Sunday Night Football in America.
I mean, so I haven't even heard, but just because of the title, I have to assume this is not an R. Kelly sanctioned project.
No. I think it's everyone else except him, and maybe
Right.
there might be some archived interviews or anything like that. But I don't want my soul to
Tainted? You don't want it to be tainted and have that shadow upon you?
I can't deal with this type of stuff.
I mean,
can't let it in.
It would be interesting to see just how much alleged behavior there was.
Ugh.
And then still try and figure out why he gains and garners the popularity and followers and fans that he still does. I don't get that.
I don't get it either. But Woody Allen still has fans.
Not nearly as many, but you do have a point.
Right. Yeah, and remember, fandom is something.
Yeah.
Fandom allows you to, it could be bluntly in your face, and fandom will allow you, oh, but I just love his
But he
music,
sings so well.
his art, and come on, wake up.
Yeah.
You know?
Until it affects you.
Right. And then you say, like, really? You have a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old daughter.
Right.
I think 18 is too old for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so...
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Would you really send your underage child?
Knowing all what has been alleged. We'll keep putting that out there because we don't want to bother our attorneys.
Right. We do know a lot of them.
Yes, we do.
We know a lot of attorneys. We'll put that out there. I can't spend one more minute on this. I feel
That's all
dirty
right.
already.
Yes.
talking
Wash it
about
off. Wash it off.
But I'm sure it's a ratings hit for Lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to garner ratings probably better than New Edition. And
New Edition had some pretty good ratings. For
Right.
BET. New Edition
Right.
was big. I don't know if it'll get that far.
Oh, okay.
Because that was very, very, very popular.
Okay. So you think this is more like Schmut?
I think the R. Kelly story, just because of its nature, does get listeners and interest across all different channels. You know, New Edition was those of a certain generation
Right.
and age group
Okay.
and musical taste, kind of. I think, you know, R. Kelly's music transcended a little more than New Edition's music in popularity. So I guess more people, again, we'll call it the smut factor of his story versus theirs was just a coming of age story.
Mm.
You know, everyone likes grime,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
for
and
some
that's what this
reason.
brings. So, you know, having said that, you might be right. This might get more than New Editions. Who knows?
We'll see. I mean,
As long as he doesn't get any money from it.
I know. Let's just hope that's not the case. Along with that, there was reports that came out, I believe, like yesterday, of some video of Drake groping a 17-year-old, I guess, either at a concert or something like that. I don't know. I'm just leaving this stuff right here. We've turned this show into Gossip Central.
Hey, it gets ratings.
It does get ratings. You guys didn't know. I mean, I know. It's the highest rated show on WGBB.
Oh.
We're
There
probably
it
going
is.
to get a phone call from that one.
Right? Anyone, a phone call.
So, you've been catching up with Netflix. Did you get to see what 45 million other people saw? BirdBox.
BirdBox. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
Only because the missus was just
Gotta watch.
going on about this, and I was just like, okay, let me watch this.
See, I did not because the missus was going on about it, but just because of all the hubbub on everyone talking about it.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, fine.
First
You know,
week, 45 million
That's big.
subscribers.
You BirdBox. All right, so
Okay.
your thoughts. Let's give us first the short, concise thoughts.
I thought it could have been so much better if, spoilers,
Yep, there will be spoilers here. Go ahead.
if they had shown the creature, the actual creature, not the pictures of the creature, but the actual creature. But I love Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, my slightly less concise. I agree. First of all, the acting across the board was fine.
Yeah.
No issues at all with the
John
actors.
Malkovich?
That's my man.
I know.
He can play a psycho.
Yes, he can.
And everything he said was right.
It was.
Everyone should know at this point when you're in this kind of situation, don't open the effing door. I don't care what they say. Don't open the door. Yeah, the writing was great. I kind of have the same problem with it. I don't like open-ended, no reason for it, gusts of wind antagonist.
Right.
Which it started in Russia.
Right.
And it's blowing the leaves around and it's here. And it can't go through an open door.
Right.
But it's just wind and it's just air. And it makes people go crazy. And they're talking to the dead. And
tonight felt like BirdBox. When I was getting into the car, I went outside, and the wind was just gushing.
The wind is kicking.
And I just looked around. I'm like,
but
oh,
I
my
didn't
goodness.
say, Daddy. I mean, yeah, it wasn't bad. Could have been better with a few touches.
Yes.
That's all. And sure, explain to us one, give us something for what the monster is, we'll call it. Besides, like you said, the drawings. Are there really drawings of it? Or just this person's nightmares that he was drawing? So we don't know there either. And why is it that people in mental institutions are immune to it? That was one line there, right?
Yes.
And then are we to assume then that everyone who happened to be driving around and was immune to it is immune? And why are they immune? Too many plot holes.
I wish they would have released it in movie theaters.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason why they didn't. Maybe they were thinking that, this might not be what we want to put out there. This might bomb in theaters, but get all the attention on streaming, which it did.
Yeah.
And again, acting was fine. Like Sandra Bullock. What's the brother's name?
Could not tell you.
Yep. Great, no problem there. The kids were... acting was fine.
Boy and girl?
The story, yeah, little kids, no problem. They were fine.
With the names of boy
and girl. Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yes. It's not like you're like they were born with there was no humans around.
Yes.
Boy, girl. Boy, girl.
I actually watched BirdBox and was live texting.
Yeah.
With none other than Todd Vandenberg from Cinema Savants.
Nice.
We were going back and forth, and I was just like, okay, this is pretty cool.
So, maybe next time we hear of something like this about to be released, we kind of arrange that. We have a online viewing party.
Yes.
I think we could do that.
I
Todd,
think so.
You're in. You've been volunteered.
Did you get the chance to see Bandersnatch?
No.
I tried to watch some of it.
Right. You tried to interact with some of it.
I tried to interact with some of it. I fell asleep. But it was less on the movie and more, I was just totally
tired.
beat.
Okay, that's fair.
Totally beat. But I will get back to watching Bandersnatch. It's, standalone, kind of like Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, yeah.
Yeah, movie/episode, which is 100 minutes, 90 minutes. But
I've heard, right.
Depending
on what you select.
It's like you go down a rabbit hole of 3 hours.
Remind me to tell you when we're off the air.
Okay.
About an idea I had.
Okay.
I can say off the air because I'm not making it public.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. So.
But I've heard about it. Heard interesting things. I mean, I haven't heard anything about what the story is really about, the content, anything like that. Just the novelty of you decide what route you want the people or whatever to take along the way, and then you direct the movie. Kind of like Dragon's Lair, the old game.
Yes. Yes.
Except hopefully the video disc doesn't scratch.
Hey, we all do side-related work.
Yep.
We all do external stuff.
Yep.
I gotta tell you, I had to set up a computer. New Year's Eve.
Yeah, okay.
And I got my first taste of Microsoft wanting to eliminate passwords and enabling pens and all the above. And then I kind of think of it, my computer's at home, or just pens.
Right. Okay.
And so I don't know, but we had an article on Late Night Parents about Microsoft wants to eliminate passwords. And I think that's going to be, if we look into predictions for 2019, I mean, we could definitely say, Apple won't sell as many iPhones, Amazon will still control the world,
Yes.
Facebook will still stink up the joint.
Yes.
But Microsoft removing that convoluted password of
whatever, give us a
uppercase
variation.
characters, lowercase numbers, special characters.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
I mean, from what I've read, it's really like another version of multi-factor authentication.
Yes.
With one factor missing.
Yes.
I mean, sure, you turn the computer on. It's like, okay, you've turned it on. We're going to text you, verify that it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, at this point, everyone's using their phone or their mobile device because for everything. But in this case, it is the phone because it wants a phone number. Sure. In most cases, that should be fine. Of course, I would want to know. So, what are you going to do if I'm in an area where I don't have service?
Right.
Will you still allow me to log in, or will there be the secondary or putting your PIN if it's not available, which would only make sense, which I'm sure they would do. There would have to be some method of what to do if you can't get in. But why not? Or do some voice recognition.
Okay.
My password is my voice. My voice is my password. One of my banks does that now.
So are we thinking more network related, or we're thinking more like consumer versus business, or both?
Or both. I mean, sure, do it for consumer because that's just the easiest. You have less less hoops to go through to do it for consumers. But sure, why not make it another option from within Active Directory or within your Windows environment? Person logs in and it calls their phone.
Okay.
With the extension, their local business extension, and then they have to type in a PIN, or they have to do. Sure. Or if it's, if you have corporate and company related phones, company issued phones, okay, they log in, send a text message to their company phone. Why not? It would be harder to do, of course, just because businesses tend to, of course, need to have different requirements, different restrictions.
Right.
But for consumer level, why not?
Gotcha. I just found it kind of, it wasn't really funny, but it was like the person that I was setting the computer up for wasn't in the vicinity, so I had to stop and go look for them to say,
hey, what's the PIN you got? What's the code?
What's your PIN? What's this? What's that? Come on over here. Type this in. I don't need to know anything. What email?
What email? Right. That they're getting away from. It seems
assigning this too.
Yep. Well, what's interesting in looking at it, so it looks like some of the options will be, or they're offering, once you've signed into Windows 10 with the phone number, then you can maybe use face recognition.
Ah, okay.
Or use a PIN or a fingerprint method. So it's really multi-factor authentication.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me, at least.
Yeah, it does.
Which is cool. I mean, I give credit to Apple on, the Face ID is working well on the mobile devices. I don't have one yet that uses it. People go both ways with it. I mean, there's some annoyance to it, of course, because you have to hold it up a certain way, because it has to identify you. That's fine. But I can also see that working pretty well, say, on laptops.
Okay.
Why not? Why not build that in? It's, all devices these days seem to have a camera.
So is biometrics just dead?
Fingerprints are still fingerprints. But yeah, I mean, technically isn't your face a biometric?
Right. Well,
so,
I'm thinking, because the biometrics, we've been using that for what, 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
And it works.
It works.
What more would you want?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's Microsoft. It's something that we trust in. And I will tell you, I mean, was the setup cumbersome or anything like that? No, it wasn't cumbersome.
Right.
Like I said, once I had the person in front of me, and the person was an elderly person, so I had to dumb it down a little bit, where it was just like, okay, I'm going to create this password for you, but also you can use a pen. And I was like, so what do you want to do? So give me your phone. Let me go into your notes folder and let me type this stuff in for you, just in case, because I don't want you calling me at ungodly hour.
Ted, I can't get it. What's my password, Ted?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my goodness. This is Late Night Parents with Rich and Ted. Ways to follow the show is latenightparents.com. Big shout out to all the affiliate stations that carry us. Thank you once again, 2019, to our home station, WGBB, here in Merrick, New York. Rich, 5 reasons to spend your home equity.
Carefully.
Carefully.
I think
I thought it was like taboo to dig your hands in there. And
no, there can be some good reasons to do it. I think, especially if the taboo would be, don't dip into it to spend it frivolously.
Okay.
You know, don't go into it and say, I'm going to invest this money in the market. Unless you're a professional or something like that, right? One great way to invest and take equity out of your home is if you're going to improve your home.
Oh.
You want to take $25,000 of its value if you've got that equity into it and upgrade the kitchen.
Okay.
Build out the basement.
Okay.
Upgrade the bathroom. Sure, why not? Because you are immediately increasing the value of the house, hopefully at least the same amount that you just took out of its equity.
So I got to stop you for 1 second because you sound well versed on this topic.
I won't go that far.
Okay. But my big question is, if I were to take out the equity on my home and reinvest it within the home, what does that turn my monthly payment to?
Well, no, it's still good. The difference is when you've taken out that equity, are you taking a loan out from your equity, or are you refinancing?
I don't know.
Well, there's two different things. Let's just say, for easy round numbers, that your home mortgage is $2,000 a month.
Okay.
And let's say that the home is worth $500,000.
Okay.
And let's say that the amount of equity you have in the home is $250,000, half.
Okay.
Okay. So you could take a loan against your home equity. So if your payment is the $2,000 a month and you take a loan against that equity, you're going to be paying your $2,000 a month, plus you're going to be paying the monthly bill on that loan.
Okay.
Let's say it was a $50,000 loan for 5 years. Okay, we'll say you're paying $500 a month. I didn't do math in my head there. That's probably the wrong number.
Okay.
But so now you're paying $2,500 a month.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're paying your mortgage and you're paying your loan. Loan's paid off in 5, 6, 10 years, whatever. You still have the mortgage payment.
That's a loan.
That's a loan. That's a home equity loan.
But what if I want to do a kind of like a cash out refinance?
So then it's a refi. So then you look at, all right, we'll take the same number. It's worth 500. You have 250 in equity. So, but when you bought it, it might have only been worth 300.
Okay.
Right. So now you go to take a home equity loan. Or rather, you do a refinance. One, you're going to be changing your interest rate probably. The home is worth the 500. So you have that. Let's get my math right. You have the 250, the 200,000 of equity that it's worth now, on top of whatever you've paid off in making your monthly payments for the last X amount of time. So you can take when you do that refinance, you're cashing out a little bit on what the value has changed since you purchased it. Your monthly payment will probably change because now you've taken some out, you've increased your loan, if you will. And your interest rate might change, but you could end up with less of a payment because the interest rate could change.
That's true.
Or you end up with more because you're taking out, X amount of money from the value.
You know what's funny? Way back when my dad had purchased his house, this is in the 70s,
and he paid $10,000. No, you didn't pay that little, but okay, $20,000.
It's $32,000. $32,000. Okay, but the interest back then was 8.5.
Yes.
And to think today, and the homes are 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 times the amount. The interest rate is dropped
immensely, and that's one of the good things. So now go a little shorter term. Instead of having bought it in the 70s, if you had bought it in the early 80s, and interest rates were 20%.
Right.
Okay, so of course, once we got out of that recession, whichever that was a recession at the time, interest rates did start coming down again. Of course, everyone refinanced.
That's true.
Because you were sitting there on a 20% interest rate. Let me get out of this to get down to a 15, and then refinance again to get down to a 10. Wow. But you still got to be careful because depending on the timing of when you do your refinance,
mm-hmm.
if people don't understand how their mortgage works, I mean, you really should be looking at your statement every month.
Right.
But the way mortgage amortization works is you're not paying off a single piece of what you owe. You're not paying off the principal, which is the amount for the house, and the interest. You're paying off pieces of both. And initially, of course, you're paying off the interest first.
Right.
That first, let's say you do a 30-year, that first 10 years, if you're putting in,
it's all interest.
10% towards the equity in the house, you're not. So that's why they also say don't keep doing the refinance thing, because you're never really paying off on the house yet. You keep paying off the pieces of the interest, but you're refinancing again to the value of the home plus the interest, and it's not always a good idea.
And you'll be 900 years old by the time you pay off the mortgage.
That too. Now, if you can do the thing where, you were in a 30 and you want to refinance into a 20, and it's, to 25 years in, you want to refinance to a 20 and get a lower interest rate, well, absolutely do it.
Okay. I'm hearing paying for education, paying off credit cards and other debt.
You do the home equity loan? Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, of course, education always is a benefit. Again, not unless you just want to be a full-time student for life, but interest rates are what they are. I believe home equity loan interest tends to always be lesser than traditional either student loan interest or God forbid, personal loan interest.
Something you said at the start of the segment, you said invest the money.
Yeah, I think that's a risky one, unless it's like, you're a professional. You can't just think the stock market's always going to go up. It's not.
Right.
Timing is everything. But if you can afford it, maybe, but really know what your home is worth. Look and see how much what you have left, how much time you have left, like you indicated. If you're in your 20s and 30s, you want to try this, hey, go for it. Investment is still an investment, but don't look for that quick. Don't buy 40,000 lotto tickets. I mean, let's be real. But maybe like an investment property.
Gotcha.
Okay, maybe you can do something like that.
And the last item says, take a fancy vacation, buy an expensive toy. Isn't it reckless?
I would think it is. I mean, I understand, less the toy thing. I can't see taking, unless, same principles, if the home equity loan interest rate is going to be that much less than the interest rate on the expensive toy, that's a little more than just a toy. Let's be realistic here. I'm thinking car,
Oh, okay.
Maybe, if you know if you're gonna be correct and responsible with your payments on your home equity loan, you want to take out $50,000 to buy a nice car at 3 interest points versus a car loan at 8. As long as you pay the money back, and you don't plan on selling it within the next 5 years because you've taken that equity out, so you're not going to get it back. You still owe that money. Maybe, okay. The vacation thing, I've always been less of why do I want to borrow money for a week or 2 weeks worth of fun and maybe lifetime memories, but it's just a week or 2 weeks of this.
That's it.
Save the money and do it if you have to.
Everyone still has to go back to their...
You gotta go home. You gotta go home sooner or later.
Oh my goodness. This is Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show is latenightparents.com. We're all on the internet.
Yes, we are.
We're on the interweb right now.
As we speak.
Are you on the interweb? Well, if you're listening to the podcast,
you are.
Then you are.
You have a phone?
You are. Yeah, you are. Smart home. Everything's connected to the internet.
Yep.
Richie V, big question is, why aren't more people using VPNs?
I think it's mostly because most people, or a lot of people, don't understand what a VPN is and the benefits of it.
Would you like to tell us and share what a VPN is.
A VPN, as we call them. So, when you're at home and you turn your computer on, you connect to the interwebs, and you go to browse to Google for whatever the case may be. Your internet provider, if they kind of wanted to, could just look and track and just observe what you're doing. They can see where you're connecting to, what sites you're going to, what you're doing, things like that.
But do we really want our internet service provider to be kind of like Big Brother and
no, we don't.
Snooping in on us?
No, we don't, which is why you want a VPN, a virtual private network. So what it kind of lets you do, it's like lets you do your communications across the internet, across the web, securely and, more importantly, anonymously. It's just, think of it like a tunnel, sort of. You're connecting through this tunnel. Instead of going to your provider, it's going to where the tunnel comes out of, and then securely and privately connecting out to when you want to go to your Google, your Facebook, your Netflix, your whatever the case may be. And it's secured along the way. It's encrypted along the way. It's anonymous. And it usually comes with a small fee, but very, very nominal fees. So you could be connected to a VPN. You could be sitting here in New York, and your internet traffic is really coming out of Scandinavia.
I see some benefits in that. I mean, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, security.
Yes.
Security on both ends. Hackers, it's much harder for a hacker to connect and get to your data through VPN because it's not really coming from your home. It's not coming from your location. They're not attacking your home. They're, trying to go through the VPN connections. That's one of the nice big things. And of course, versus if you do a lot of connecting to Wi-Fi over public locations, if you have a subscription to, some people you have to.
That's scary.
If you're a traveler, you're at the airport all the time, you got to work. And if your company isn't at the point where they give you a VPN yet,
that would be the key reason where you could sit here and you can, you see there's 100 different services out there.
Right.
And I'm not saying choosing a free service is the wrong idea, but maybe it might be a time when you might want to put that, I don't know, $5 a month or
very,
$4
very
a
nominal.
month into obtaining a VPN, enabling it so that it's going to allow you to do your web surfing, and let's just say if you're doing any type of online banking, anything with any personal identifiable information, and you're out there on public Wi-Fi.
Right. Those folks really need it. And like you said, cost-wise, $5 a month or less.
Come on.
Yes, turn your laptop on, turn your device on, connect your VPN software, and then browse normally. Browse as you would, connect as you would. Feel much more safe, much more secure.
Wow. So, 12 habits you don't realize you're losing respect at work.
This should be interesting. I mean, everyone has bad habits.
Everyone has bad habits. So if I'm cutting my toenails, what?
Way too much.
While I'm in the office place.
That's why the door's closed all the time.
Right. But it's something, I mean, if we face it, everyone has bad work habits. In some cases, we may not even be aware that we're annoying our coworkers.
That's true.
However, it's worth the effort to keep yourself in check.
That's true.
After all, everyone shares the same, sometimes cramped office and stressful workplace. And the actions of one can affect the entire culture. And I'm not just talking about gun popping or colleagues who never wash their own dishes.
What about the one that always cooks fish in the microwave? No, but seriously, I mean, so if we look here at a list we have as compiled on latenightparents.com, and I don't believe these are in any severity order.
No.
But looks like the first item we have is being that employee, that person at the job that's always complaining. I mean, you don't want to be that guy or gal. If you're always complaining, people look at you like, so what are you complaining for? You don't like it? Get out. Leave. You're bringing down the entire environment. You want to be the person who's more like, I'm not going to complain about this. We can get this done. You want to be able to provide solutions,
Right.
not be the complainer.
Well, yeah, to be the complainer or the person to say, hey, here's issue A. I'm leaving it right here and I'm walking away.
So you're not doing anything is what you're saying.
No.
Don't want to be that person.
Lack of punctuality. So we all deal with terrible commutes.
Right.
There are some times when the a track will be broken or a switch will be broken, but that happens on occasion. What's not okay is constantly rolling in, 15 to 30 to 45 to 60 minutes late after everyone, after the productive day has started.
If they can get there, you can get there.
Right. The same goes for meetings. Be on time, and it's that simple.
It is that simple because, let's face it, everyone's time is valuable. And by being that person that's constantly late, you're actually showing a lack of respect for other people's time.
It's true.
And you just can't do that. So be on time. Get up earlier. Look at the schedules. Take the weather into consideration.
Right.
Things happen. But if you're that person who's always late, always walking into the meeting 10 minutes after everyone else got there, no, don't be that person. Yeah, and kind of related to being on time is don't be the one that's always leaving early. Sure, there's always situations. You have a life outside of work. Once in a while, you might have to go get something taken care of, whatever the case may be. Sure, but generally speaking, everyone's there and getting paid for an 8-hour day.
Right.
Don't be the person that every day is like, all right, I put in my 7.5. I'm out of here. Bye.
Right.
You don't want to do that either.
Not owning up. It kind of means don't play the blame game. Don't try to hide that mistake. The best way to handle a situation is to be direct and apologetic.
Yep.
And to bring the solution that will prevent it from happening again.
And that's so simple. I mean, you and I both have been mentors to countless people.
Yep.
And I think we both have the same speeches pretty much now when they come on board. What's the first thing? I know, and I've gotten this one from you. Don't let me find out about something from someone else.
Right.
If something went wrong, if you made a mistake, if you didn't know and you made the wrong choice, it doesn't own up to it.
That's true.
Come to me, come to you, say, I screwed up. This is what I did.
And it's fine.
And I want to try to fix it. Okay, fine. It's a learning experience.
Right.
You figure out how to resolve the issue. We'll move forward. It's going to happen. And that's not to say that there won't be punishments necessarily. Because, sometimes things are going to happen. You're going to screw up. Anyone's going to screw up. And you got to pay the price for screwing up. But life will go on.
That's true.
So that's one of the big things. Own up to your issues. You'll gain respect from people by standing up and saying, yep, I'm sorry, I screwed up.
That's true.
And along with that, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask a question. No one knows everything. No one started a role knowing everything. No one's going to leave a role knowing everything. And I say, if you don't ask questions, well, one, as what's the old saying? There's no such thing as a stupid question.
That's true.
If it's an honest question, you don't know. You want to learn. That's the purpose of being where you are, to learn. Be clear about your question. You don't want to waste time.
Right.
But ask a question. You have a question? Ask it. And chances are, if there's more than just you and the other person involved, someone else will probably have the same question.
Not accepting assistance, that means kind of like hoarding work or refusing to let go of something sends the message that you're not a team player.
Yes.
You have to accept assistance. At some point down the line, assistance or escalation, however you want to look at it. And you got to remember, everyone has a boss.
That's true. And also think about it, if a few people are asking you if you need help with something, they might be seeing something that you don't. They may realize, you know what? Rich looks like he's getting pretty swamped over there. Right. Let's offer him some help to get him out from underneath it. Now, here's something that everyone has done at one time or another: conducting personal business at work. That, of course, there is absolutely nothing. Well, unless there's some very specific rules that your employer has put in place. There's nothing wrong if you need to go online and quickly pay a bill.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong you need to step out and go to the post office and put in some mail. Again, you have a life outside of work. But now, staying online all day long, trying to find whatever you want on your shopping site of choice for the next 3 hours, not really what you want to be doing. Browsing. Let's not see pop-ups coming all day long while you're on Facebook commenting on people and liking everyone's pages all day long.
All day long, come on.
No, we're not talking lunchtime.
Stop it.
But all day long, no. And kind of goes back to what we said before. You're at the office to work. Your company, your employer expects you to be working, so you probably want to do so.
Lack of enthusiasm. Everyone has days when they feel less than motivated.
Ted, the sine wave.
Oh, totally. For many, many years, I was up, I was down.
We all are. That's just it, though. We all are. You're up and you're down.
I should have admitted to you many, many years ago it's because of the medication I was taking.
That's what it was.
Be enthusiastic at work. Try to be proactive. Look for something to do that you can be excited about. Your boss will appreciate your eagerness to take on new things.
Yep.
Here's a great one.
Go ahead.
Bad-mouthing the company, a coworker, or your boss.
That's the quick way to find the exit door. Let's face that one. That's right. I'm going to go on, again, pick your social media of choice and start talking about the company. Oh, yeah, they suck. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, I don't believe that. Yeah, okay. It will come back to you.
Oh, yeah.
It will come around.
To bite you.
And it will come back to bite you. I mean, you don't have to like everyone at work.
No.
No one's asking you to. You need to be respectful. And do the best you can to get along.
I mean, it was kind of like the start of the show. I was about to badmouth Brian Graves about the potential WGBB shutdown for late night parents.
And he said, "What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I've been here since XYZ time.
That's right.
You guys are the ones that are late.
Getting your 53-minute show."
Lack of follow-through. If you promise to meet a deadline, keep it.
Right.
And if for some reason you need an extension, let people know in advance rather than after the fact.
Right. Oh, I know this was due yesterday.
However,
I'll be finished next week.
Right.
No, it doesn't work like that. Again, you're not showing respect for other people's time and value and efforts. Here's one.
Okay.
Which I definitely concur with. Having a potty mouth. And for me, it goes... for one, let's face it, if you're in any sort of customer-facing position.
Which a lot of people are.
And that doesn't just mean customer. That doesn't just mean you're a cashier.
Right.
Everyone basically is your customer, right? But if you're in any sort of customer-facing position, you never want to use foul language. It's totally and completely unprofessional. And, some people will say, oh, well, does this person now have no access and no knowledge of how to use the English language or whatever language it may be properly? Do they not have a command of their language? No, you don't want to do that. It just sends the message that you are an unprofessional person.
Lack of focus. Very key. Most of us are accustomed to multitasking. But if you're checking your phone or working on something else during a meeting, it's not only rude, it shows your colleagues that you do not care.
Yes, indeed. Because I don't need to listen to this. I'm going to see what's going on Instagram right now. La, 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 la. Not too bad mouth Instagram. I just picked one. La, 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 la. I don't know. Oh, but he's talking about something up there, and he's playing with spreadsheets and playing with PowerPoints. La, 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 la.
Right.
Yeah. All of that is common sense as far as I'm concerned.
No, it is. It is. But it's something that maybe someone can grab a nugget from. These are all articles that are available on Late Night Parents.
Right.
Go to the site, take a look. You might find something that you like. getting ready to wrap this thing up. This was a quick show. It was good. It was good. It was efficient for 2019.
We'll keep it that way.
We're going to keep it that way. A lot less banter.
No, we have to banter.
I think bantering is good.
Bantering is good. Bantering on topic.
Met a person. Well, someone introduced me to a person. Hopefully we can have them on next week.
Okay.
That's putting together Indiegogo and putting together a foundation for black hockey girls. Black girls hockey or black hockey girls.
That's the name of the organization?
I think that's the name of the organization.
Okay.
And it's really more about exposing minorities to the world of ice hockey.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week because I've always kind of found that interesting.
Yeah.
Why we don't have more players of color. Is it geographical reasons? Is it where we tend to not be brought up around viewing the sport?
It's an expensive sport also.
The gear?
The gear.
Yeah, I guess that. Never played, but okay, that kind of makes sense.
But I think we're going to have that person in the queue. I think her name is Rebecca Hess.
Okay.
So she's going to hopefully join us next week. We hope everyone had a great start to 2019.
Yep. Golden Globes tonight, I believe, right?
Golden Globes are tonight, which I won't be watching.
I won't be watching either. I'll probably have it on in the background as just noise.
Okay. Anything you got going on this week?
This was a reasonably quiet week. I mean, at work, I'm finishing up a couple of projects. I did a couple of big projects last week. Finish up a couple of other ones this week coming up.
Okay.
Did a test drive. I'll talk about it next week. Did a test drive on a Tesla Model 3 today.
I was going to mention when we were talking about the home equity loans and a Tesla, right? And I was going to reference a Tesla, but we can definitely talk about you test driving your Tesla.
Oh, you can prep that and send some information to them just so they can hear and listen to it, and if they want to send a 6-month evaluation, sure, no problem.
You got it.
Good car though, fun car.
You got it. Best ways to get in contact with you, Rich?
Late Night Rich.
And I'm the real Ted Hicks, and we are out.
Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for listening. Take care.
See a stream down your face when you lose something you cannot replace. See a stream down your face.